Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to explore a very special place that completely changes how we understand human history. Let's take a closer look at Göbekli Tepe, rising from the heart of Anatolia. For a long time, the story of human history followed the same familiar order. First came agriculture, then people settled down. Only after that did temples, cities, and civilizations emerge. This sequence was accepted almost universally, as if it were an unchangeable truth. According to this view, belief was a consequence of production. Human beings first had to secure food and stability. Only then could they afford to search for meaning and create sacred spaces. Monumental architecture, it was believed, belonged only to advanced agricultural societies. This idea remained largely unquestioned for decades until a silent hill in southeastern Anatolia began to challenge everything we thought we knew. A single place would force humanity to rethink its own origins. Today, this place is known as Göbeklitepe. Located in northeastern Şanlıurfa in modern-day Türkiye, it appears unremarkable at first glance. Yet Göbeklitepe contains the earliest known monumental structures ever built by humans. On the surface, there are no walls, no temples, no visible ruins. For centuries, the site went unnoticed. The truth, however, lay buried just a few meters beneath the soil. As excavations progressed, massive limestone pillars began to emerge. These stones were not randomly placed. They followed a deliberate plan, revealing a sophisticated architectural vision. This discovery transformed our understanding of early human cognition and organization. Radiocarbon dating shows that Gobekli Tepe was built around the 10th millennium before the Common Era. That makes it approximately 7,000 years older than Stonehenge and about 7,500 years older than the Egyptian pyramids. Even more striking is this fact. When Göbekli Tepe was constructed, agriculture did not yet exist. There were no domesticated animals, no pottery, no permanent villages. These monumental structures were built by hunter-gatherer communities. At the heart of Göbekli Tepe are large circular enclosures. These were not houses. They were communal spaces designed for gathering rather than living. Here, people came together not to survive, but to participate. Each enclosure is centered around two massive T-shaped stone pillars. They stand facing one another, dominating the space. Smaller pillars surround them, all oriented toward this symbolic core. Carved into the pillars are arms, hands, belts, and garments. These details strongly suggest that the stones represent stylized human figures. The absence of faces points not to individuals, but to something abstract, perhaps ancestral or sacred beings. The pillars are covered with animal carvings, snakes, vultures, foxes, wild boars, and birds. These images were not decorative. They carried meaning, power, danger, and humanity's relationship with the natural world. Vulture imagery is especially prominent. In some Neolithic cultures, the dead were exposed to nature, allowing birds to cleanse the body so the spirit could rise to the sky. At Göbekli Tepe, death appears not as an end, but as a transformation. One of Gobekli Tepe's greatest mysteries lies in how these structures were abandoned. They were not destroyed, they were not left to decay. Instead, they were deliberately filled with soil, stones, and bones. Archaeologists interpret this act as a closing ritual. When a structure had fulfilled its purpose, it was symbolically killed and returned to the earth. This reveals a radically different understanding of time, memory, and sacred space. Today, excavations at Göbekli Tepe continue under strict scientific standards. Every artifact is documented in its exact context. The goal is not simply to uncover objects, but to understand the stories behind them. Recent discoveries include a human stone statue deliberately placed horizontally within a wall. This was not debris, it was a symbolic offering, reinforcing the ritual nature of the site. Göbekli Tepe is no longer seen as an isolated phenomenon. Surrounding Neolithic sites reveal a vast cultural network. Together, they suggest early societies were far more connected and organized than once believed. Fireplaces, grinding stones, and tools indicate daily activity alongside ritual practice. Göbekli Tepe was not only a sacred place, it was also part of a lived landscape. All of this brings us back to a fundamental question. Did agriculture give birth to belief, or did belief give birth to agriculture? Göbekli Tepe does not offer a final answer, but it delivers a powerful message. Before humans farmed, before they settled, they searched for meaning. And this land has not finished telling its story. Göbekli Tepe reminds us of something simple yet powerful. Humans came together first, searched for meaning first, and only then changed the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey. See you in the next discovery.